I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. The Mexican nation is an indivisible one. My own will was law, and who compelled me to divide my power? Myself and myself alone. Nothing ever happens in Mexico until it happens.
Plan of Ayutla. Revolutions do not always lead to freedom. In its early days of independence, Mexico experienced periods of dictatorship and empire, even a monarchy. The Plan of Ayutla was an attempt to defeat one of these. Under Santa Anna, Mexico was increasingly centralized and militarized. This fostered dissent from Mexican liberals. The plan pushed for a more representative republic, one that would end dictatorial control and restore Mexico to a democracy. The principal leaders of the plan were Juan Alvarez, Ignacio Comonfort, and Benito Juarez, who fought on different fronts but eventually succeeded in cutting off Santa Anna and forcing his surrender and abdication in 1855. This move ushered in a democratic period until Mexico again became an empire in 1863. Plan of Iguala. The Plan of Iguala was promulgated in 1821 as Mexico's declaration of independence from Spain. However, as often happened in revolutionary histories, the plan left significant aspects of society intact. As a result, independent Mexico became a Catholic monarchy. While all Mexicans, white, black, and indigenous, were given equal rights to peninsulars, Spanish-born Mexicans, the structure of society remained profoundly unequal for most Mexicans. The plan, drafted by to-be Emperor Agustín de Iturbide and revolutionary Vicente Guerrero, is often called the Plan of Three Guarantees. These guarantees were, Catholicism, independence from Spain, and social equality for all, regardless of ethnicity. However, Iturbide's empire fell just a couple of years later, opening the path for a new, more democratic order. Plan of Tuxtepec. Mexico's late 19th century was defined by Porfirio Diaz, a former revolutionary and political leader who embraced a policy of order and progress, one that was nominally democratic but practically authoritarian. And yet he gained his entry into politics opposing these measures. The Plan of Tuxtepec was drafted in 1876 in opposition to the re-election of the former Vice President of Mexico, Sebastián Lerdo de Tejeda. Foreseeing that Lerdo de Tejeda sought a constant grip on power, the plan focused on banning re-election. After a brief attack, Diaz won out, and the plan was put in place. This did not last long. In a supreme irony, Diaz himself implemented the authoritarianism he seemingly opposed. While Diaz resigned after his first term as president, he ran for a second time in 1884 and did not relinquish power until 1911, winning, often corrupt, elections year after year, until the Mexican Revolution ended his reign. Plains Politicos. What is a revolution without a manifesto? In Mexico's long series of revolutions, revolutionary leaders and those seeking to quell rebellions created plans for a new order. These plans struggled with topics like the nature of power, authoritarian or egalitarian, democratic or military, as well as the shape of the new society, Catholic or secular, nationalist or global. There are over 100 plains politicos in Mexican history. We feature only 3.